Hi, I'm Matt Collins. I'd like to welcome you to Bob Weber Auto Mart on Douglas Avenue here in Racine, across from Douglas Park. We specialize in 1-year-old, low mileage, almost new cars. And if you'd like to stop by and see them, or see them on our website, bobweberautomart.com, we could save you between $5,000 and $10,000 on your next almost new car purchase.
I'm Michael Burke, and this is Money Talks. Hi, today my really difficult assignment is to be out at Reefpoint Marina on a sunny, beautiful day with my guest, John Matheson, Chief Operating Officer of Siegel-Gallagher. Your company is in the first of a 5-year contract to manage the marina, and you're really central to why that is, and we will certainly get to that. With the weather we've had this spring, it's still relatively early. We haven't had a real spring or a lot of summer yet, but the early results are pretty encouraging. 390 boaters last year, and you're at about 476 so far this year. That's a 22% increase.
That's what we're projecting, yes.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like a huge number in relation to the 900 slips, but we'll touch on that as well. Mm-hmm. And having done a story recently and talked to some of the new boaters, I'm getting nothing. You guys are getting nothing but an A on your report card. So early results are very encouraging.
Well, thank you. Yes, they are so far.
Yeah. So John, I think it's very relevant to our conversation to kind of set the scene of what led to the entry of your company to the management of the marina. And so let me very quickly mention that 1987 this marina opened. The county owned the lake bed, but none of the improvements, not the buildings, not the docks, not the slips, any of that. And they had a 25-year contract with somebody to run that for them. And then 2 years ago, the county, as called for in the contract, bought this back. So now the question is, okay, what is Racine County going to do? Who's going to run it for them? Who's going to manage it? Is the county going to do it themselves? And that first year, the county kind of did, 2012. Now, you're in a unique position. Not only does your company manage it, but you're a boater in this marina and have been for 11 years, is it?
Yes, I've been here for about 9 or 10 years, actually. 10 years here.
Okay.
But I've been in marinas for 18 years.
Okay. So you were already a boater in Reefpoint Marina. You're working your Milwaukee job and doing property management, but certainly not of marinas. Backing up 2007, I did a story that said, hey, things are pretty rosy out here. Boater numbers are up. Things are looking really good. But then two things happened. One is that was the year the Great Recession started. What were some of the impacts on the boating industry? I'll let you talk about that a bit.
Well, that's only a part of what has impacted the boating industry. If you go back a little further than that, this marina was built about 27 years ago or so. Since then, a lot of other communities recognized the potential economic benefits of having a marina like this right at their doorstep. Yeah. And they've also added slips. There's been literally thousands of slips added up and down this coast of Lake Michigan and the other side of Lake Michigan, where municipalities and some private marinas, condominiums that are on the rivers, they've added slips as well, as you've seen here in Racine. So what you've done is add to the inventory of slips for boaters by thousands.
Yeah.
And that has been increasing every year for the last 30 years. Then you couple that with a downturn in the economy, so you have a lower demand and a tremendous inventory, and it led to a lot of municipalities and privately owned marinas seeing occupancy drop quite a bit.
Yeah. So you have that factor, and then the Great Recession, and then the winding down of the 25-year contract. What did you see as a boater out here? what did you see in those last years, from 2009 to 2012 or so, in your boater experience in the marina?
Well, I was looking at it strictly from a boater perspective for the most part, but at the same time, running a management company, you can't help but look at it and say, boy, if I was running it, this is what I would do.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's essentially what we do. We manage income property, but I never really thought of running a marina. It wasn't until the events occurred, as you described, Mick, where the county took back control of the marina and the improvements that have been around for a long time. These docks, when they took it over, were about 25 years old. Mm-hmm. And as the contract wound down from the former operator, the maintenance started to wind down as well.
Slipped a little bit, huh?
Right, it slipped. And the service slipped a little bit. So as a boater, you're looking at it, and these things are kind of obvious, and you can see why boaters can become a little frustrated. In the first year that the county took back the marina, they actually had another operator running it, and it's an operator that never had run a marina in the past.
Oh, is that right?
Yes,
oh.
and it didn't work really well. So last year, 2013, mm-hmm. the county I'm sorry, 2013 is when they had, was the first year that we actually managed it,
right.
but as a consultant. They were not our employees at the time. So I came in as a consultant, never running a marina before, but I'd been a boater here.
So let me make it really clear. It was pretty much your idea, right? You were in the management industry. You were a boater here. It was kind of your idea to say that your company, Siegel-Gallagher, could probably take this on, and then I assume you approached the county about that, right?
Well, it was. A friend of mine who lives in town and does work with counties had mentioned that he understood that the county was running it, and that there was a little trepidation there because most municipalities are not set up to run income property like this, in a marina specifically, all internally. And so I started to think about it, and I arranged to meet with Jim Ladwig and explain our company, county executive, and his team, and explain here's what we do as a company, which is essentially run income property very much like this. The difference is this is on water,
yeah.
But we run in high-end condo towers and Class A office buildings and shopping centers and things of that nature. So it's not too far of a stretch to think we could run this well. We have a lot of the systems in place to do that, and the more I thought about it, I realized that this really is a great fit. So last year, as the consultant, we came in and changed around operations completely, and just basically set up our model of running a high-end income property here.
How much autonomy did you have last year? Were you able to hire and fire employees?
We did have that ability. We worked closely with the county. The county fortunately recognizes that this marina is very important for the long-term success. They want to make this viable for very long-term. So they were very concerned and wanted to make sure that we were on the right track. So we communicated often with the county. Weekly, we'd meet. I'd put forth my ideas on what we thought needed to be done, and so we were constantly in contact, and as things improved, they saw those improvements, so I think they let up on that autonomy over the course of the year.
And I want to talk about those improvements, but we will leave that for part two. We're with John Matheson at Reefpoint Marina. John's the Chief Operating Officer for Siegel-Gallagher, the managing company. Hope you'll join us for part two. I'm Michael Burke, and this is Money Talks.
Hi, I'm Matt Collins. I'd like to welcome you to Bob Weber Auto Mart on Douglas Avenue here in Racine, across from Douglas Park. We specialize in 1-year-old, low mileage, almost new cars. And if you'd like to stop by and see them, or see them on our website, bobweberautomart.com, we could save you between $5,000 and $10,000 on your next almost new car purchase.